Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my transfer plans for Game Week 17 and also how I got in Game Week 16. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below, leave a comment, what are your plans for Game Week 17, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's quickly go over how I did in Game Week 16, and I actually took my first hit of the season. I made 3 transfers in Game Week 16, but I did finish on 60 points, well 64, but obviously take away the hit, which was a nice green arrow from 28k to 18k. So, one of my transfers was Areola out for Sanchez. It was very much a kind of... It was like a last minute transfer. I was just completely convinced that I wasn't going to do it, and then like half an hour before the deadline, I was like, to be fair, I want an easy way into that Chelsea defence with the fixtures they've got coming up. I'm probably going to make the transfer next week anyway, and if Areola's out and Turner doesn't play, I'm just not going to have a goalkeeper. So I was like, I may as well just set myself up ready for that Chelsea guaranteed defence, and then I'll be alright. Unfortunately for me, he goes off injured in that Chelsea game. So I brought him in for a hit. He picked up 3 points, which was quite nice, but because of the hit, obviously it is a -1, especially because of the fact that Turner played. And I did say that in my last video, saying that, you know, there is a chance that Turner could potentially play back into that #1 role for Cooper's potential last game. You know, obviously if he did lose that game at Molineux, then he probably would have been sacked. So yeah, he might have gone back to the basics, brought Turner back in, and that's exactly what he did. So obviously I did start Areola, but Areola wouldn't have played, and so Turner would have come off the bench and got me 3 points anyway. So it was basically just a really silly transfer. Obviously I wasn't to know, and apparently he sustained that injury in the Man United game as well, but they just didn't let us know. They didn't say that, oh yeah, he had a bit of an issue. If there was any kind of idea that he had a bit of an issue, obviously I would not have brought him in. I would have just not made the transfer, but yeah, that was really annoying. So yeah, I do have Sanchez now, and he's also potentially injured. I'm hoping that Turner plays anyway, because I don't really want to make 2 back-to-back goalkeeper transfers, because that's just never a good idea. But I may have to. And plus, even if Turner does play, he has Spurs at home, so it's not even like it's a great fixture for Forest. But either way, Sanchez coming in with 3 points, Gabriel picking up 2 points in that Villa game, Simicast picking up 2 points as well, and then Porro picking up 5 points. So annoying to get that clean sheet wipeout though in the last few minutes, because he was on for a 10-pointer, and he of course was one of my other transfers this week. I did take cash out and brought Porro in, so that would have been a really nice transfer. It was a nice transfer anyway, because, you know, obviously Cash only got 1, Anderson got 0, so I would have played one of those, but bringing in Porro allowed me to get 5 points, plus he's now had a price rise. He's got some nice fixtures coming up, and Porro just looked really good in that Newcastle game. It's actually a little bit annoying that the Son penalty kind of like happened, because Porro played that ball through, and I feel like Son would have finished that anyway. And so yeah, Son took the penalty, which was great, but if he just scored without going down, then it would have been a Porro assist, and that would have been even better, because it would have another 3 points for Porro. But yeah, I'm just happy I've got him in my team. I think he's going to be, I think after like Trippier and Trent, he's probably the best defender to have in the game right now, because he's just so attacking. I know clean sheets are quite difficult to come by this season, but with a player like Porro, it's just nice to have him in the squad. So that was the back line there. In midfield, I got very jammy this week, as did a lot of other FPL managers, with Haaland not playing. We obviously didn't know this information pre-deadline, and I will talk about that in a minute, because obviously that could be a massive transfer to make this this week. But yeah, I think there was somebody that knew the information, and they took Haaland out of their team, and then they just didn't tell anyone about it, which is fair enough, because it was like a lot of time before the deadline. But yeah, it would have been nice to know that information. But either way, Salah was my vice captaincy, so yeah, in all, it was a little bit of luck, because I don't know if Haaland would have got loads against Luton. They only just struggled to win that game, whereas Salah got like, you know, an easy 13 points. It was nice to get a really good captaincy this week, even though I probably didn't deserve it, because I didn't captain him in the first place. I feel like Salah captainers are a little bit hard done by there, that they made the correct decision, and then everyone else that didn't make the correct decision still got the Salah points. But either way, Salah got 26, Son got 17. I mean, some people had Son as vice captain, and you would have been sweating it going into that game, because obviously Salah's just done all this, and then you're hoping that Son gets something at Newcastle. And my lord, he got something. 2 assists and a goal, max bonus. I like, whenever Son got anything, I was like, it doesn't really matter, because he's so highly owned. But around my rank, he's only like 50% EO, so that's insane to me. I cannot believe. I think Son is arguably like the 3rd best asset in the game. And when I saw his overall the overall percentage of people that have him, I was very, very shocked. So that 17 points actually really, really helped out. Saka picking up 2 points, Hee-Chan picking up 2 points. Cole Palmer was my other transfer in this week. It was Mbumo out for Palmer. I think Mbumo has already had 2 price drops as well. So yeah, Palmer unfortunately picked up a yellow, so now he's 1 away from a suspension. So that's really annoying because he'll play the Sheffield United game, but if he gets a yellow in that game, then he won't be playing the one after, which is a little bit unfortunate. I can't seem to dodge injuries at the moment. You know, I've got Haaland and Sanchez that I need to worry about this week, where arguably I would have just liked to have got rid of Anderson this week and brought in a Newcastle defender. But I may just, you know, if worse comes to worse, I may just have to get rid of Sanchez for Dubravka, and that be my transfer this week, and just hope that Haaland is fine. But obviously Arch came off the bench, got 2 points. Watkins got 2 points as well. Nearly scored no goal as well in that Arsenal fixture. Then Turner getting 3, Anderson getting 0, Kabore getting 0 because he didn't play, and then Haaland getting 0 as well. So in terms of transfers this week, obviously I've got 2 fires that I need to put out, which is Sanchez and Haaland. Technically another one because I've got Anderson, who's got like City away, which isn't great. But to be fair, if Haaland's not playing, you know, City just don't look incredibly good at the moment. So it will be interesting if I have to play Anderson in Game Week 17. But in terms of Haaland, like, there's been a little bit of information from Pep about the injury, where it was just like a stress on the bone or something. Some people think that it was like a lot worse than it is, but apparently it's not actually terrible. And Haaland even said to Pep himself that like he's got no pain on like the Saturday morning and he was like fine. So that's obviously very positive if Haaland himself is saying, I've got no pain, I'm fine, on the Saturday morning. Hopefully he doesn't play midweek, but we get an update on him from Pep. And then he's just like, yeah, he's okay, but it was like this game came a little bit too early or something like that. Because to be fair, if he's not fine and he misses the Game Week 17 fixture against Palace at home, he's an easy sell for me because Solanke's right there. I know that Alvarez is also an option, but I don't think it's worth bringing an Alvarez in because they've got Crystal Palace home and then they've got a blank and then Haaland will be back. So I don't really see the point of doing that. And as well as that, Solanke's there with really good fixtures on pens, even though they haven't had one since they're back in the Prem. And yeah, Solanke just looks really, really good at the moment. So I think I'd rather go Solanke than Alvarez, so I don't have to worry about that Game Week 18 headache of that blank. So that's probably what I will do if Haaland is not fit. If Haaland is fine for that Palace game, then obviously I'm going to keep him. And I'll probably just make a goalkeeper transfer, which isn't ideal. In a perfect world, both Sanchez and Haaland are okay. Now, the Sanchez injury wasn't televised, obviously, but I'm not sure how bad it was. I've seen images of him, like, walking off. So, like, it's a knee injury, so I don't know how bad it is. So I need an update on that from Pot. But at the end of the day, like, I don't think it's as... It might not be as bad. The fact that he could, like, walk on it and stuff, it might not be as bad as expected. But, yeah, worst comes to worst, I will just have to make a transfer on him. But obviously, Haaland is the bigger issue because I can just play Turner and hope that he plays against Spurs, even though I don't think they'll get anything really from that fixture as a Forest fan. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens there. So that's how I got in Game Week 16, and they are my kind of transfer plans for Game Week 17. Of course, we do have midweek fixtures in Europe, so we'll have to see what happens with those games. But as of right now, it's another green arrow, Game Week rank of 713k. Very happy to be in the top 18k now, and hopefully we can have a really good Game Week 17 and push for top 10k, because I think this is my highest rank so far this season, which is really nice. It's really nice to just still be on those green arrows. I keep flirting with like top like 30k and then like top 20k. It keeps going back and forth, but yeah, hopefully we can get another good green arrow in Game Week 17. Let's move on to the knee-jerk reactions for Game Week 17 though, and Solanke is the most brought in player. Like I say, a lot of people will be transferring him out, Haaland out for Solanke or Watkins. Solanke a little bit more so though, just simply because of the fixtures that they've got coming up. Luton at home, Forest away, and Fulham at home are really, really nice fixtures for Solanke, and he's an easy swap from Haaland and then back to Haaland as long as you don't use that money elsewhere. A lot of people think that Haaland might be out for a while, and if that is the case, which I don't think it is, because Haaland himself said that he's fine, he's got no pain. But if Haaland is out for whatever reason for a long time, then obviously you can start thinking about like Trippier and Trent and stuff like that. Even though Trent's fixtures do get a little bit bad, and obviously Trippier does miss Game Week 17, but it's just obviously food for thought. But yeah, Solanke being brought in by a lot of managers, completely understand why. Son, another player being brought in by a lot of managers. Like I've said in every video, just as like a lot of other people have said, I'm not like saying that I've made a really good shout keeping him, because a lot of people have, but you know, on every wildcard draft I've made, on every single team selection video I've made, I've always said there is no chance I'm getting rid of Son because he's such a good asset in the game. And like I say, I think he's the third best asset after Haaland and Salah. And they've got a really nice fixture run coming up as well. Like Forest away is really nice. Everton at home is going to be quite tough, but it is at home, so it's quite a nice fixture. Brighton away, they can't keep the ball out the back of their net, and then obviously Bournemouth at home. It's not bad. United away, Brentford, Everton, Brighton, Wolves. They've got such a nice fixture run coming up, which is another reason I brought Porro in. Can't expect to see like a lot of clean sheets like you don't really see with any teams at the moment, but Porro, like I say, is just such a good asset. How forward he was getting yesterday, definitely want someone like that in my team. Gordon, another player that a lot of people are bringing in. I was hoping to bring in Gordon for Hee-Chan this week when, you know, I was looking at my future transfers, but obviously so many things have gone wrong that I can't really make that move this week. Luckily, like, it's not the worst fixture. Hee-Chan's got West Ham away, and they cannot keep a clean sheet, so hopefully Hee-Chan can get something from that game. I'm a little bit worried about not owning him for Fulham at home, but Fulham have been really, really good. I mean, they scored 10 goals in the last 2 games, so it's not really bad at all if I do think about it. And then obviously Luton away and Forest at home. I don't know, Newcastle just look very depleted at the moment. They didn't look very good against Spurs at all. They've got a midweek fixture before Fulham as well. So yeah, it'll be really interesting how they do. Porro, another player that's been brought in by a lot of managers. As I say, I think it's just a really, really good player to have in your team right now. He's up to 5.4. I think that's only going to get higher. I think he's going to do well against Forest and Everton and Brighton and Bournemouth. So yeah, I'm really happy that I jumped early and got him in my team. But yeah, I mean, this is the second time I've owned him this season, and every time I've owned him, he's been really, really good. The only reason I got rid of him was because they had a really bad fixture run coming up. But Porro, I still think is, like I say, one of the best defenders to have in the game. And then we also have, yeah, I don't know, this Bournemouth fair play. Like, this guy has just had, I've never even heard of this player, but 14 and then 15 points is absolutely ridiculous, absolutely insane, really. But Luton, Forest, and Fulham coming up, like I say, I don't know if Bournemouth of defence are really a necessity, but at the same time, it's a decent little option to have in your team with how good they are playing. But anyway, they are the most transferred in players for game week 17, most transferred out, basically all the injuries and the suspensions as well. And Bumo, big injury, not going to be back for a while. Just get rid of him right now. Good options like Gordon and players like that to bring in instead. Trippier misses Fulham at home. Again, I was kind of close to bringing in Trippier this week because I just had enough money, but to like attack this fixture run. But now I don't think it's really worth it. Like, Luton and Forest are obviously really good fixtures. I think if you have Trippier, it's probably a hold, just so you can have him for Luton and Forest, and you know he will get that rest as well. But yeah, definitely unfortunately he did pick up that yellow card 100%. And then Haaland as well. I would wait for press conference and stuff before getting rid of him because Crystal Palace at home is a really nice fixture. I know that he blanks in 18. You could probably get away with not having him in your team, but he's not a player that I really want to think about getting rid of anytime soon. And then Douglas Luiz, obviously suspended as well, which isn't great for Villa because he's been such a good asset this year for them. And then finishing things off, Bruno Fernandes also suspended for the Liverpool game, which is not what United fans want. I don't know why Ten Hag just didn't take him off. Like, the game was already lost. But yeah, he picked up that yellow card and now obviously misses the trip to Anfield as well, which is again not ideal for United at all. But either way, they are the most transferred in and out players for game week 17, and also how I got on in game week 16. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Let's try and hit 50 likes. Leave a comment. How did you get on in game week 16? How are you going to prepare your team for game week 17? Subscribe if you're brand new though, and until next time, peace.